Hey fellas, I'm writing you to tell you that I'm an alcoholic. I know that's probably not a shock to you since you've seen me at my worst, but I'm coming to terms with it day by day. It took a final night of me blacking out, trashing the house, and nearly losing my family and getting a divorce for me to finally catch up with what you've all probably known forever. I mean, everyone's telling me that I need to shut everything out that's a distraction to my sobriety, including my friends. But I'm not doing that because my problems are not your problem. I'm telling you because you're my brothers, and I'm telling you because I need your accountability. You guys know that I love my wife, and you know how much I love my kids. And you know that I love them more than I'll ever love a drink, but I need you guys to just never let me drink again. Guys, it's been 60 days since I had my last drink. I'm in full recovery, and I need you guys to know that I'm all in. Derek. The following morning, the house was completely trashed. The bar was upside down, there was a hole in the door, my clothes were ruined. The vacuum cleaner was destroyed, the refrigerator was dented, my hand was broken, and I was alone. I'm so undeserving. I'm unworthy. I'm a terrible husband. I'm a lousy father. I'm an alcoholic. I don't even want to live. I'd rather die and just be alone. And I went through recovery. I led recovery. And I told everybody that I was a drunk because that's who I thought I was. I remember in high school, I thought my girlfriend was cheating on me. So I went out in the street, I kicked a dent in my car out of anger, but it turns out she wasn't. I was just really drunk. And then I remember later, I got pulled over by the cops, got arrested for drinking and driving, and the cops told me I was super drunk. And then my wife and I went on this romantic getaway weekend, and I blacked out like usual. She told me that I got super drunk. And then 2006 happened, and I was drunk. And then I remember going to this concert in Milwaukee with my wife, and I threw up in the bathroom at the venue in front of a bunch of people. As it turns out, I was just really drunk. And then I remember I discovered craft beer as I walk into the liquor store, and they were like, try this two-hearted ale. And then I discovered a whole new kind of drunk. And then the shit hit the fan in 2014, the night before my birthday, when I decided to go play in a euchre tournament with my wife. And I blacked out the whole night, and I woke up the next morning, and I realized that I had destroyed everything, because guess what? I was super drunk. I thought my life was over. And then years later, well into recovery, haven't had a drop in years, and I make the decision that I'm no longer listening to what other people think I am, or better yet, what I'm telling myself, because I'm not an alcoholic. Yes, I drink way too much, or I did drink way too much, but that's not the real problem. It just looks like the real problem because it's what I use to deal with the real problem. And I'm not hiding it anymore. It's years of jealousy, it's years of resentment, it's years of codependency, just all bottled up. And still underneath it all is this anger issue covered up by anything that I could put on top of it. It's not the booze, it's not the anxiety, it's wanting to judge others. Not because they have issues, but because they judge others who are open about theirs. Do you think that if I could have a few beers without the repercussions that I'm so used to, that I wouldn't? I mean, don't you think if I could have a few beers at the end of the day to just take the edge off and maybe calm down, that I wouldn't? You're crazy, because I would, but I can't. I don't even bother with discernment anymore. I judge, and I'll admit that I judge. Are you telling me that you don't? I'm not proud. I'm just being honest. And sometimes I cuss. I'm not proud. I'm just being honest. I get into arguments, and I can be very confrontational. Are you telling me that you don't? I'm not proud. I'm just being honest. I make my possessions into my idols. I'm not proud of it. I'm just being honest. I have a ton of resentment towards people. I could probably help it, but I don't. And I don't know why. And I'm not proud. I'm just being honest. And I'm not even gonna get started on lust. Are you serious? You know you do. And I'm not proud. I'm just being honest. And I'm not telling you this or making this video because I wanna feel special. No, I'm telling you this and I'm making this because I feel like everybody out there with a speck in their eye is being called out by somebody else who's got a plank in theirs. I mean, do you know what kind of stigma comes along with somebody that has to rep day in and day out that they're an alcoholic? Does your problem carry a stigma? Do others even know about your problem? Do you even think you got a problem when you compare it to somebody else? Because I do, and it's certainly not alcohol. It may look like it, but it's not. It's everything. It's all the above, and I'm not alone. Remember that one mistake you made a long time ago? You know the one I'm talking about. Do you remember how you dealt with it? Did you have someone to talk to about it? Did they tell you everything was going to be okay? How did you internalize that mistake? Did you address it head on in order to never repeat it? Was the mistake something you were ashamed of? Was it something you didn't want to talk about? Was it something you tried to bury with a distraction? Or was it something so painful the only way you knew how to deal with it was by trying to forget it never happened? Did you drown it out? Did you cover it up? Or did you drink it away? What if the way you dealt with that mistake became the only way you knew how to deal with anything? What if your way of dealing with your mistakes became a problem? What if that problem was more significant than the original mistake you made a long time ago? What if that problem became so bad that even though you wanted to deal with the underlying issues, you couldn't? What if you pushed everyone away that cared about you in your life because of the way you dealt with your problems? What if you had no one to talk to about it? What if you had no one at all? What if everyone you know only saw you for the mistakes you're making now and not the original mistakes you once made? What if it was just you, your mistakes, and nothing else? What if one of the mistakes you made was a severe addiction to a substance? What if you knew the addiction would kill you if you didn't stop? What would happen if you did stop? Would the fear of living alone with only the memory of your mistakes be worse than drinking yourself to death? What if you asked yourself that question and the answer was yes? What if the person asking these questions was family? What if the person asking them was your son or your daughter, your father, your mother, friend, neighbor? What if the person asking you these questions was Jesus? What if Jesus told you he was hungry without anything to eat? What if he was thirsty without anything to drink? What if he was cold without any warm clothes? What if he was a stranger without a place to stay? What if he was in prison without any visitors? What if he was sick without anyone to look after him? What if you didn't help him? Are you prepared for Jesus to forgive your enemies? Because he's going to forgive you. Can't you see? We are all the same. Jesus came into this world to save sinners, of which I am the worst. We're all dealing with something. We're just dealing with it a little bit differently. Jesus doesn't want the 99% you're ready to give him. No, he wants the 1% you're not willing to let go of. Open your eyes. Open your eyes.